Sarah, welcome to the Farmstrong chat. Look, first, tell us a bit about yourself. You're quite a unique person in the rural landscape, being both, a trained psychologist and but also just a real love of all things rural.
Probably one of those things that's evolved over the years, Jared. So I kind of grew up in town, but always had really strong farming connections through friends and family farming. And my father was a stock agent. My mother worked for a livestock agency, and then he obviously trained as a clinical psychologist because I wanted to work with people. I didn't especially want to be office bound, and then I married a sheep and beef farmer and have been living rurally and on a sheep and beef farm for the last sort of 20, must be close to 20 years now.
And you're living in the Wairarapa. What do you love about living rurally?
There's nothing better than being at the top of the farm and looking out and just looking at the landscape and the land and the animals and feeling like you're really connected and part of it. The sense of community that you get a lot of the times living rurally, I love that as well. And I guess we've seen some highlights of that with lockdown happening, and it's had to be a bit unique, but you still see it happening, and I love that.
And how's your lockdown been going?
I would probably call it a roller coaster, Jared. You have days where you think, well, this is just an extension of how we live normally, and I think sometimes it's just life as usual, and other days I think particularly probably the partners who are out there juggling online learning with their kids alongside trying to work, sometimes it's tricky, but it's probably just the juggling and feeling at times that you're not doing justice to this role or this role or this role.
Yeah, because rural is used to dealing with lots of challenges. There's a long list of those at any time. We've had the M. bovis, we've had the drought, in the North Island, and you're in an area that's been, very strongly affected by drought. So just in terms of this situation now that's emerging, how's that overlaying? What are you seeing, sort of some of those stresses and pressures and challenges?
I think it's really different for different people depending on your circumstances as to how things are playing out right now. So as you said, there's a huge amount of rural New Zealand that is affected by drought, and that's a massive pressure, but even region to region, that's variable. Then same kind of a little bit with COVID. I think it's kind of another thing that's come, and it's just complicated what was already there. So it's meant kind of extra uncertainty and challenges with things like the processing plants being slowed down and freighting of feed and that kind of thing. Just added complications about how you get around these things at the moment.
So for the people who are doing really well through this, what do you see that they're doing that's helping them function really well with these extra challenges?
Again, sort of like if I start with maybe families, I think that it seems like the families who seem to be adapting the best are the ones who've almost rolled with it and said, okay, well, we've taken off some of the pressure of the normal routine where there's perhaps a lot happening, and now there's sort of less happening. So let's just embrace a slower life and enjoy each other. And so the ones who've taken opportunities, I guess, to go, okay, well, how do we mix up the farm routine and the tasks that need to be happening, but also how do we incorporate some really good family time, or how do we, merge the two together and still enjoy each other? And that can be that there's now perhaps a partner back on farm and the kids are back on farm again, so they might be out helping with drenching or scanning or whatever's kind of going on at the moment. It could be that they're learning the next farm tasks for their age, that they've now got a bit more time to learn with mum or dad or both. It could be that the partner I had the other day, a partner that normally works in town is back out and coming around and jumping on the quad and cruising out to have a look around, and the male partner was really appreciative that they kind of were back in the fold and sort of seeing day-to-day life again with them. So actually just more time to connect, I think, is massive.
And then just talk about the benefits for yourself and your business when you're feeling those strong connections. So I think it's a really good point you're making, that this is an opportunity to start to look at what's really important and what really matters.
One of the comments that got made to me was, I always planned the farm stuff first and foremost. Now I'm actually planning more of family life, and the farm kind of fits in alongside that. And it's just a slight rejigging of priorities, but it makes a massive difference. And the benefits of that are, like it's really, really easy just to put your head down. And as another farmer said to me, oh, I realised I could have just kept going and going through this period. But actually, that's not in my best interest. It's in my best interest now to have cut-offs and actually come in perhaps at the end of the day, where I come back a bit earlier to spend time with family, or to sort out my shed at the end of the day, or do some other things that actually fill their bucket, and then it keeps them energized then for the day-to-day kind of farm task. We all get kind of stale and dull if we're just doing the same thing and aren't being stimulated in other ways. So yeah, I think there's real advantages in investing and what keeps you well and what keeps your family and your farm team well in other ways. It keeps you more productive in the long run.